What he just said has Mavericks fans fired up, some for good reason and some for bad, as it is Kendrick Perkins. He is not known to say the right thing. 9 times out of 10 he's saying the wrong thing, and for a lot of people they wonder, how have you not been fired by ESPN? But the other day, Kendrick Perkins had a lot to say about Anthony Davis, and the success of the Dallas Mavericks for this upcoming season hangs solely on the shoulders of Anthony Davis until Kyrie Irving returns. And as we all know, Kyrie Irving will miss significant time, so it makes sense that Anthony Davis' ability to stay on the court, stay healthy, and still be able to play like a potential MVP candidate is exactly what the Dallas Mavericks need. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the quote from Kendrick Perkins, as well as an article that was written that breaks everything down, and get to the bottom of things. Is Anthony Davis the answer for the Dallas Mavericks if we are to be successful? But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 21,698 subscribers. We're getting close to our goal of 22K. However, we did hit our goal just last week. Shout out to you guys for showing up and supporting the channel over the last year and a half, but more importantly, supporting a good cause. Last Friday, we had our 24-hour stream where we raised money for the flood victims of Central Texas, and we successfully raised over $1,200, and it was not possible without you guys. So thank you everybody who donated, tuned in, or you came by, said hi and bye. All the support mattered, and we were able to raise a good amount of money for a very good cause. But anyway, the Dallas Mavericks, we've got some hurdles ahead of us this upcoming season. Everybody knows it. Kyrie Irving will be missing out significant time. Maybe February, January, December at the earliest, most likely end of January, early February is when we can expect to see Kyrie Irving. He himself said he's not too sure if the playoffs are when he'll be able to return, and that's just him being careful. It was an old quote, but all of the reports that have come out since then show that Kyrie Irving's recovering very well. But that doesn't mean they'll be back right away. So obviously, next man up mentality. We've gotten more point guards, as we still have Dante Exum. We got to find out how we're going to make room for him. But we also have D'Angelo Russell. We also have Brandon Williams, as well as we have Anthony Davis, Cooper Flag. We have a lot of other players that are obviously going to step up. But without Kyrie Irving, everything's going to hang on the shoulders of Anthony Davis. He's going to be our go-to scorer, our number one option. And of course, we do have a very deep team, but you still need that driving force, and that is Anthony Davis. And the other day, Kendrick Perkins had this to say. Kendrick Perkins believes the Dallas Mavericks title hopes hinge on Anthony Davis and anchoring both ends, saying fans forget how dominant he can be when healthy and available. Now, I feel like that's going to follow us for the foreseeable future until we are healthy and available, but yes, Kendrick Perkins is right. Anthony Davis, as well as the Dallas Mavericks, are a very good team if and when available and healthy. We all know that. But if we really want to break things down, Anthony Davis has shown flashes of an MVP candidate player. I mean, his first game with the Dallas Mavericks against Houston, albeit he did get injured and only played 2.5 quarters, is probably the best 2.5 quarters you will see from any player that will then get hurt and have to miss significant time. We all know Anthony Davis has a health history that is questionable. He did have a whole offseason to get healthy. He had surgery on his eye, so maybe he'll play a bit better. But in case anybody forgot how well Anthony Davis played last season, last year, while averaging 33.5 minutes, he put up 24.7 points, 11.6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 2.2 blocks, 1.2 steals, 2.2 turnovers, and 1.9 fouls per game, shooting 51% from the floor very, very well. We all know Anthony Davis has the ability to attack the basket. He makes other bigs pay. We saw that against the Houston Rockets, where Sengun was just unable to do anything with Anthony Davis. But that three-point percentage is very on par with the rest of the Dallas Mavericks, only shooting 28% from three last year. Anthony Davis isn't the best three-point shooter. He's not really a three-point shooter, but he's still good for maybe one a game. But overall, Anthony Davis is a very good player. Top 10, top 5 in the West. We're going to go over that later in this video. But Anthony Davis is a great player who has a very good team around him, and there's no reason why we can't be successful while he's healthy. But if we take a look at an article that came out just the other day following up Kendrick Perkins' quote, the article titled, "We Forget How Dominant He Can Be. Former NBA player warns not to overlook Anthony Davis." The article follows saying, Dallas Mavericks rebuild around Anthony Davis. The Mavericks' path to this point has been anything but smooth. Trading Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for Davis was seen as a desperate gamble, a move criticized as mortgaging the future for a short-term fix. Those concerns deepened after Kyrie Irving's ACL injury in March left Dallas without its star backcourt leader. However, the franchise caught a break when it won the NBA draft lottery, securing the #1 pick and selecting Flag, a potential franchise cornerstone. Suddenly, the long-term vision began to take shape, though questions about the team's immediate competitiveness lingered. Perkins, though, sees a blueprint for success already in motion, saying they arguably have the best front line in basketball in Daniel Gafford, Derrick Lively, and Anthony Davis. And you throw in a sprinkle of PJ Washington, Cooper Flag, Perkins says, and yes, Perkins is right in this regard. The Dallas Mavericks have a very, very good front court, and I think this is something that we can all agree. Knowing that the Dallas Mavericks have incredible size is going to help us in the West. As we saw this offseason, teams in the West are also trying to get big. And as long as we keep everybody together for this upcoming season, it's going to be very, very hard for teams to deal with Daniel Gafford, Derrick Lively, Anthony Davis, PJ Washington, Cooper Flag, Omax in garbage time. And if somehow we get Kai Jones to come back, we have so many players of size that we will be imposing to other teams. And that is one facet that we can win by, that we can use to our strength. And obviously, there'll be areas that we will falter. The three-point shooting, the shooting in general, or free throws. There's other areas that will be weakened, but we do have a lot of strong points that we can definitely lean on. And the article definitely follows up by saying, defensive identity centers around Anthony Davis. Perkins also highlighted Dallas' commitment to building a defensive identity that starts with Davis at the core. With the collection of talent and the team's coaching staff, Perkins envisions significant potential for this group on the defensive end. And it continues by saying, with the leadership and head coaching of Jason Kidd, they're going to be a force defensively, Perkins said. And I think we forget at times how special and how dominant Anthony Davis could look when he's healthy and available. Dallas added D'Angelo Russell to help manage the point guard duties in Irving's absence, giving the point guards a stabilizing presence while the front court carries the scoring and defensive load. Najee Marshall, who made an impact off the bench last season, also returns to add depth to the wing. Perkins sees his roster as one that can surprise people if they stay healthy and connected. And there it goes again. If we can stay healthy and connected. Yes, we know what happens when we're healthy. We saw what happened even when we were just a little bit injured. Just 2 seasons ago, we made the NBA Finals. Yes, I know Luka was there, but we still made the NBA Finals. We still have the majority of that team. We actually added more players to that championship-bound roster. We didn't win, but we were on the way. The Dallas Mavericks aren't doomed. I've seen it in my comment sections. I've seen it online, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, everywhere. A lot of people feel like there's nothing there, that we're done, we're doomed. I understand that when you rely on 2 older players. I'm not calling them old because Kyrie is older than Anthony Davis, and Kyrie Irving really isn't that old. He's only 33. But when you're relying on 2 players that are over 30 that are dealing with injuries, yes, the idea of us making it back to the finals and winning a championship feels bleak. It doesn't seem feasible, and I understand that. I'm on the side of we are not really going to see a championship run this upcoming season. Maybe we do, but I don't see it. It's the following year, once when Kyrie Irving's back fully healthy. We've got Cooper Flag in his second year. Guys are starting to gel together. That's when I truly do believe that the Dallas Mavericks can become the boogeyman of the West and continue their way back to the finals. But for this upcoming season, until Kyrie Irving's returns, we will be relying heavily on Anthony Davis. We have a very good team around him. The only thing that's going to stop Anthony Davis from being an MVP caliber player is health. But there's a way that we can alleviate that, and that is with the depth that we have. Without Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis will have to shoulder the majority of the scoring load, but he doesn't have to do it all himself. We have PJ Washington, who did improve his three-point shooting last season, and hopefully that becomes more consistent this upcoming season. We still have Klay Thompson, which, aside from all the weird Klay Thompson haters in my comment section, Klay Thompson played very well for the contract and the money that we paid him last season. I'm glad that he's still here. We have Max Christie, who is looking to take that leap along with Derrick Lively, but we also have Daniel Gafford. We have Najee Marshall, who I truly do believe will be the X factor of this team. We now have D'Angelo Russell. A lot of people are very high on Brandon Williams. Is there any other players I've missed? Because we are a very deep team. Yes, we will rely on Anthony Davis, which could lead to injury if we lean too heavy on him, but we don't have to. Defense wins championships, and right now the Dallas Mavericks, as at the current roster construction and the size of the players that we have, we will be okay. Will we be at the bottom of the West looking to get another lottery pick? Only if we have a repeat of last season. But will we be at the top of the West trying to get another championship run? Probably not. But will we be somewhere in the middle of the pack? Absolutely. I truly do believe that the best case scenario for this team is to be a 6 seed. But if you look at the track record of this team over the last 10 years, All we have to do is make the playoffs, and from there, we can go as far as we want. In the last 7 years, the highest seed we ever finished the regular season was the 4th seed. We only did it once. And 2 seasons ago, when we made the finals, we were the 5th seed. We didn't even have home court advantage not once in that entire run. Jason Kidd, who now has a much better coaching staff, Anthony Davis, who has a much better roster around him, Kyrie Irving when he comes back, Cooper Flags here. The Dallas Mavericks are not in a bad spot, not for the short term and not for the long term. Things could definitely be worse, and it does sometimes feel like it can be. But Anthony Davis is a top player in this NBA, and if we take a look right here, it was proven. NBA.com ranked Anthony Davis as the 6th best player in the Western Conference. Now, you can all say that NBA.com doesn't know what they're talking about, that they don't know ball. But I'd argue that if NBA.com had Anthony Davis ranked as 20th in the West, you'd all believe it. But if NBA.com ranked Anthony Davis 6th in the West, then that means we have a top 10 player in the NBA, at least in the Western Conference. And with the team around him, I think that's good enough to keep things afloat above 500 until Kyrie Irving returns. But y'all let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think that Anthony Davis and the supporting cast around him can keep things steady until Kyrie Irving returns? Or do you think that Kendrick Perkins is still just rambling and he doesn't know anything? He's just talking out the side of his neck and we should not listen to him? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation about it. But that's what I got for you guys today. Thanks for making it this far to the video. Make sure you check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. And as always, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.